Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Writers Chat. We're so glad that you're with us this morning. And if you're not with us and watching the replay, we do invite you to join us any Tuesday morning that you can, 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central, and so forth as you go west. My name is Johnny Alexander. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Brandy Bro and Melissa Stroh, and our very special guest, Brenda Anderson. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Brenda. She's going to be talking about the benefits and drawbacks of Bookbub feature ads. I took this off her website. I love this. Brenda says that she grew up in the best place in the world, a dairy farm in Minnesota. Again, Brenda's saying, oh, I know many of you are wrinkling your noses and thinking, what about Hawaii, California? And I would be saying Florida, the Rocky Mountains. Any number of places could be better, definitely warmer, and a whole lot less work. Yet, in spite of stepping in fresh manure piles, tossing bales in 80-degree heat and stifling humidity, and suffering through temperatures cold enough to freeze breath and limb, fun was had and stories were born. So I just love that. Brenda writes authentic, gritty, life-affirming fiction that shows God at work in people's very messy lives. She's musically talented and enjoys live music and theater, walking the shores of Lake Superior and sharing hot cocoa with friends and family. And as I said, she lives near Minneapolis with her husband. Brenda, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I should say she did not say in her bio that she's musically talented. I threw that in because she would not probably say that to sound a little braggy. I threw that in because I know it's true. Brenda, thank you.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Yes. So you're here to talk to us about the drawbacks and benefits of Bookbub apps. So we're just going to Bookbub ads. We're going to turn it over to you. And then as questions arise in the chat, we'll be monitoring those. And Brenda's also going to be sharing some links with us that are helpful. So take it away.
Okay. Well, as I said, thank you for welcoming me. I've been doing Bookbub ads, since probably 2016. Or not ads, featured deals. There's a difference, and I'll talk about that as well. First of all, for those who are unfamiliar with Bookbub, I took this off of their website just as an explainer. Bookbub is a free service that helps you discover books that you'll love through unbeatable deals and recommendations and updates from your favorite authors. Bookbub doesn't actually sell the books. We simply introduce you to books you love that are available on retailers like Amazon's Kindle Store, Barnes & Noble's Nook Store, Apple Books, and other places. So, and I already made the mistake of referring to Bookbub ads instead of Bookbub Featured Deals. So there is a difference. Let me see if I can't find the link here for you, and I can post that rather than it go through the long explanation of how it's different. I figure I'll give you this link, and that will help explain it. Let's see. I'm recovering from a sprained wrist, so I'm a bit slow here.
Well, you're doing that. I'll just go ahead and add that Brenda is an indie author and is doing very well with that. And she's also one of the founding members of the Mosaic Collection, which is a group I'm involved in too, where we have a collection of authors who've come together from, international. We have writer in England, which is really fun, and writers in Canada. And we put out indie books and help each other market them. And we put them out under the Mosaic Collection banner. And the books are contemporary and historical, different genres. And one of our authors is was it a Carol Award winner?
Yep.
Yeah.
Carol.
Sarah Davison won the Carol.
Not the Christie, but a Carol.
Yes, Carol Award with one of her Mosaic novels. So we are very proud of that and very proud of the books in our collection. So Brenda's been very helpful because of her experience with indie publishing with the rest of us who are sort of more newbies with that. And we just appreciate her so much. So So I
Thank
really
you.
wanted to bring her on to talk about these Bookbub featured deals because she's had success with them.
Right. And it's part of a huge part of my success is actually due to getting Bookbub featured deals. So one big difference between the ads and the featured deals, you have to be chosen, and they are far more effective. The ads, you have to do a lot more work, and you're I haven't ever done one, so I can't really explain fully how they work, but you create your own ad and you pay like per click on that ad. So it's a different animal. And I know from listening to other people, it's sort of like Amazon ads. You just have to do a lot of work. They can be effective, but you have to do a lot of work to make them effective. With the featured deal, if you get selected for the featured deal, you know, the most work you have to do is just apply for the feature deal, and they do everything else. So it's really very effective in that way. For the person who wants to spend minimal time marketing, this works for you if you get selected. So, and we'll talk about that. So, first of all, BookBub does have specifics that they want for you to be selected. Your book must be enrolled in a current deal that's a limited time offer. It can't be something that, if your book is 99 cents, if you just haven't set it that, you cannot be selected for a BookBub feature deal. Your book should be well written and it should be error free. You should have a professional book cover. Your book will need to abide by certain length requirements, no novellas or short stories, although their definition of novella, I'm not sure what that is, because I have actually had 45,000 word book chosen. So,
oh, wow.
So anyway, I just submit, and if they turn it down, you turn it down. The same book cannot be featured more than once within 6 months, and the same author can't be promoted through a feature deal more than once every 30 days. So after you've had a feature deal, you wait a month and you can, apply again and be featured again. So, and BookBubs are more than just beneficial for authors. Actually, they were created for the reader. Who have any of you signed up for BookBub? Do you get a regular email from BookBub?
Almost every day, I think I get an email from BookBub.
Exactly. So, and you can sign up to say, if you like Christian fiction, you can put that in what you want. I know I'm signed up for literary fiction and maybe crime fiction. So in my daily BookBub ad, I'll get anything that is listed for sale in any of those three categories. So, and the sales are anywhere from free to, I've seen $2.99. And we'll discuss the difference between that, how much the cost for an author for a free book as opposed to a $1.99 or 99-cent deal. So we'll talk about that. So that's one of the reader benefits, is that you choose what kind of books you want to see. If you're signed up, you can get real-time updates from an author. Like if you follow Johnny, anytime Johnny has a new book out, all the people that follow her will get an update. Or if she has a pre-order, anyone who follows her will get a notification that she has a pre-order out. So it's again dual beneficial. It's beneficial for the author and for the reader. You also get recommendations as a reader from people that you trust. If you follow people, like again, I'll use Johnny. You'll be my example this whole time. So if Johnny recommends a book by Melissa, then that will show up on my BookBub feed.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, if you like one author, then you'll see what they like. And so it's another wonderful benefit for readers. Okay, we talked about new release alerts. You get pre-order alerts from your favorite authors. And of course the really good deals from them. So I've been purchasing through BookBub for a long time, so much so that my Kindle is overfull and I'll never get to all those books, and I'm sure you all understand that. So anyway, a lot of those reader benefits are what make are part of what makes the benefits for authors so good too. You do, as an author, you get your own author page, and that includes your biography, all the books that you have published. It has followers. It also shows, I follow people, so it'll show who I follow. You'll get reviews. There's ratings, author recommendations, all on your author page. And it's really become a lot like Goodreads. They also have a feed every day. So, like Goodreads or Facebook or anything, you can go, if you sign into your BookBub, you'll see a feed of what people that you follow, what they're reading, what they've reviewed, what they've rated. So that is, again, beneficial for both author and reader. A huge benefit of BookBub is that you are reaching a very large audience. And I'm going to see if I can find, I think I have somewhere I've got a link here, I thought. Oh, here we go. Pricing. I will share this with you. And there's we'll talk about pricing later, but in this link you will see how many people, let's see, there we go, it's being slow, there we go. Okay, how many subscribers there are per category. So like in Christian fiction, there are 540,000 subscribers. So when I have a feature deal that goes out, it goes out to 540,000 people. And that's a huge reach. I could never reach that many people on my own. So that's a huge reason why it's obviously very beneficial. And that's not to say that everybody's going to look at the emails. I know I just go through my emails and delete, and I'm sure a lot of people do that too. So you're not going to reach every one of those 540,000, but you'll still reach a huge number. And a lot of those will actually purchase. So also another benefit is that we're able to connect with readers. We talked about, we have the author page, and we have followers. So, you're connecting with new readers in that aspect. So readers can read and review and recommend our books. So, and as I mentioned before, that when they do that, that will show up on other feeds. So it's not just landing on our feed, but it's landing on, if Johnny reads and recommends a book, it'll show up on my feed and it'll show up on Melissa's. And so it sort of spreads out. So you're going, again, beyond that 540,000 people. Another huge benefit of BookBub is that if it also helps sell beyond that book. My first book chosen was Chain of Mercy, and it helped sell not just every book in that series, but it helped sell every book that is on my backlist. But it is actually very beneficial if you submit a book that is in a series, because those are almost automatic buys for people. My last book I had in a BookBub was A Beautiful Mess, and I was just looking up my royalties from that. It was in September, and the royalties, not just from A Beautiful Mess, but that's part of the Mosaic collection. So my other two books that are in the Mosaic collection, those two almost sold just as much as A Beautiful Mess.
Wow.
So, and the tail, there's also a long tail when you get in a BookBub. It's not just your book may be listed for a day, or I will usually have my sale go for 5 days. They recommend that as like the optimal time is to have your book on sale for whatever the price you're putting it at. 5 days is like the optimal time. And so anyway, you're benefiting more than just those 5 days. That's just the beginning. My last one, the tail lasted until this past March, from September to March. So, and I'm just now seeing it really go down, and I need to get another BookBub because yeah. So anyway, it's like I said, it's an author's best friend. Oh, another great advantage is that your book and your author ratings will go up. I know I haven't been to #1 on Kindle, but I was in the top 100 on Kindle once after BookBub. And typically the book that I am featuring on BookBub will get those nice #1 orange banners in a 2 or 3 or more categories. So again, that's another way that it creates additional exposure for other readers, because they look for those books that are #1. Why is it #1? So they'll check it out. And so hopefully, and let's see. Oh, it will also skyrocket your ratings and reviews. I'll use A Beautiful Mess as an example again. That went from 150 ratings and reviews on Amazon to it's currently over 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that can be good or bad, because the thing is with the BookBub, you're reaching a whole new audience. So you don't know, is this audience going to like my book? Fortunately, my rating has stayed like at 4.7 for that book. So I'm fortunate, but you do open yourself up to a lot more criticism. When you're reaching that many people, you're going to have many more critics. So just be aware of that not everyone's going to love you.
Well, and too, because like Goodreads, BookBub is geared towards readers, and also their standards are different. I mean, they tell you, like in Goodreads, a person who might give you a 5 on Amazon's only going to give you a 4 on Goodreads. That kind of thing. Yeah,
exactly. And BookBub also has, it's sort of nice if you don't have time to review, it has these little categories. You can go in and say, it's a tearjerker, it was a page turner, or whatever. So I might give it 4 or 5 stars, and then I'll mark off whichever categories that fits. And then it's not fully giving a review, but it is very helpful, not only to the author, but to the readers. So as a reader, it's, just remember that when you do read, go in and just fill that out. You don't have to write a review. It just takes a few seconds, and you're helping out an author. So let's see. Oh, and let's talk money. This is one of the big, it can be a big drawback. Let me see. I'm going to bring up this will be in the pricing link that I sent you. Again, I'll look at Christian fiction. To do a free ad, it's it will cost me $333. Free feature deal, not an ad. But so, that's a lot of money. And a 99-cent ad will cost me $484. So again, you look at that and you say, wow, I can't afford it. And yeah, that is definitely the downfall, and it's the hard part. But I have never not made back my money. As a matter of fact, the lowest I've ever made back is twice my investment. So, and I think that was probably I paid $300 at that time, so I maybe made $600. And that's, we're looking at a short period of time too. If I look at a tail, you're probably looking at more money. In the early days of Bookbub, back when I had my very first one, I think I spent, it was under $300 it was a free deal. And I ended up over 2 months making over $7,000 from that Bookbub.
Wow. And you said it was free and you still made money?
Yep. Because I think that I had it on for one day. So then you still get the sales from the next day and then the sales from your backlist. But I had a much shorter backlist too. So that one was really surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, it people see that book for a while. So, and then you get page reads too. I should mention that because even though the book is free, because I had it in Kindle Unlimited, I benefited from all those page reads. And that's where you make the most money. At least I make the most money. So I should mention that too. Bookbub, actually, to get selected for a Bookbub, they're more likely to select you if you list your book wide, if you're more than in Amazon, if you're in Barnes and Noble and Apple and Google and all those. So just keep that in mind if you're applying, that they're more likely to select you if you're not. But I have not been wide for any of my Bookbubs, and I've had several, and I've still gotten selected. So don't let that discourage you. If you're not in Barnes and Noble, if you don't have Kobo or whatever, just try, because it's worked for me. So it's got to work for other people too.
Because if you're in Kindle Unlimited, you can't be wide, right?
Correct.
Yeah, for the recording, wanted to be sure we said that. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, Amazon is very picky about that. So anyway, just keep that in mind. If you want to apply, that's one knock against you. It's sort of like a publisher is looking for any knocks against you to say no. So Bookbub is doing that, give me a reason, don't give me a reason to say no.
Yeah, Leslie asked, what about Kindle, but not Kindle Unlimited? Yeah, I mean, if you're on Amazon and not Kindle Unlimited, you can be on other places. But once you put on Kindle Unlimited, you can't have it at Barnes and Noble or any of the other Kobo or places.
Right. And that I should also specify that's a rule for indie authors. Traditional authors are given different rules for, I don't know what they are, but I do know that there are some authors who are on Kindle Unlimited who can be wide, and those are in the traditional market. So again, that's one other thing to keep in mind. But yeah, it's, don't let the going back to the cost, don't let the cost scare you. I mean, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money, but you'll get it back. And also you should look at, I know, like, literary fiction is I have a friend who has been trying to get into literary fiction, and it's $776 investment for a 99-cent book. So it, depending on the category, there's different range in pricing. And Christian fiction is actually one of the lower ones. So that works for me. Let's see, other benefits. If you are on BookBub, if you have a pre-order coming up, you can have a pre-order release that goes out to all your followers again. And then when that book actually releases, when you have a book that's a new release, then that notification will also go out to your followers. So again, that doesn't just help when you get a featured deal, but even if you're not going for a featured deal, sign up for BookBub, get on there, be active on there, because it does help reach people. So let's see, and this is just an aside, BookBub also has deals if you have audiobooks through Chirp and Findaway. I don't know anything about those, but I just wanted to mention for those of you who do have audiobooks, they also have deals for that. So just keep on the lookout. Okay, so those are all the positives about, or some of them. I'm sure there's some I've missed, but those are a lot of the positives. I'm sorry. I'm going to mute that. So everyone's calling me.
No, no, that happens. We've all had that happen.
My mother-in-law is selling her house, so and we're moving her this week, so everyone's talking all the time. So all right, now for the cons of BookBub. Okay, as we said, it's expensive. And for writers who were very poor, when you get that bill for $300 or $400 or whatever, you got to go, because you won't recoup that for a couple months, because you won't get your payment from Amazon, for 2 months down the road. So that's a big barrier. It's also very difficult to be chosen, because it is something that they choose. A big difference between BookBub ads and BookBub Featured Deals is ads, anyone can run them anytime. You're just paying per click, I believe. But Featured Deals, they have to choose you. So and some of the reasons for rejection are, poor reader experience. If you have a lot of negative reviews, they can, that'll be a knock against you. If you are trying to promote your book in a genre that's not fitting yours, if I tried to promote in science fiction, that would obviously be a knock against me. They also, a frequent rejection reason is that there's just not enough room in their upcoming, I don't know, months or whatever, that all those slots for Christian fiction are filled. And as I mentioned before, if you are not available on multiple platforms, that's also another reason for rejection. So each of those are not firm, because I've seen covers that are really amateurish on BookBub. I've seen books that aren't rated well on BookBub. So there's always room for they can always be something different. You never know. Sometimes you don't know why you're chosen or not chosen. I know currently I've submitted for a feature deal about 10 times, and I've gotten 10 times in a row, and I've been rejected 10 times in a row. So, but let's go back to my book, A Beautiful Mess. That was rejected 17 times before they accepted it. And then I was accepted, and like I said, I made probably $5,000 from that ad.
Wow.
So it's worth, be persistent, that they will have a reason to reject you, but just, it doesn't hurt to be persistent. You can submit a book, well, once a month in a price category. So what I'm doing now is I'll submit a book at 99 cents. And then when that's rejected, I can do the next day, I can, submit one for free. That same book for free. And if they're both rejected, then I wait 30 days to submit that book again.
Do you always go for the 99 cent? Is that what you find is good for you?
I think I've actually made the most money on free.
On the free ones?
Which seems counterintuitive. You'd think, well, we're not making any money.
Yeah.
But again, you have the reads, the Kindle Unlimited reads. People will remember that book after it's off of BookBub, and you have your backlist. And readers do look at your backlist, and they, especially if it's part of a series, because if it's part of a series, you're going to see page reads and sales jump on every book in that series.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and also not just page reads and sales, but you're also going to see reviews and ratings jump on all those books, which again helps your author rating. So it's, it's all good. And let's see. Oh, and as I mentioned before, it can also harm your author rating too, and your book's ratings if you get it, you're reaching so many more people. So there are going to be that many more people who just don't resonate with how you write. So you are opening yourself up to rejection beyond that. So, but that's sort of the life of an author. We're all used to being rejected.
Yep.
So I can handle a rejection from BookBub a lot easier than I can from other places. So
I love your persistence. I mean, 17 times is a lot, but I mean, it just shows that not to give up, whether it's this or, with a manuscript, you've just got to keep at it, keep doing it.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it takes, I don't know, a minute to apply for a book club, because they'll ask you, what is the original price of your book and what are you going to sell it for? And then if you are like with the 99 cent Kindle Unlimited deal, you can only do it in the US and the UK. So then you have to look up the UK price for the book and write that in. If it's a free deal, then I look up what it is or the price in every country and include that. And you can also, there's a space for comments. If there's something that you think that will help convince them to select you, you can include that in the comments. For me, I think a big deal was A Beautiful Mess had a really nice Publishers Weekly review, and it compared my books to Karen Kingsbury, or readers of Karen Kingsbury. So that's, if you have something like that, put that in the comments. If you're a USA Today bestseller, include that in the comments. If you've got 1,000 reviews on a book, put that in the comments. Anything that you can think of that might give you the edge over another book. So let's see. That's pretty much what I have for my notes. Are there any questions or anything else? Let's see.
Is this kind of like a bid process when you're putting your submission in? It's kind of like bidding against the other authors who are submitting their requests. Is that kind of how it works? Or
probably because they're going to be looking at, I don't know how far in advance they look. It seems like it's about a month in advance. So I know when I'm selected, it's usually a month out before my featured deal runs. So they have X amount of slots. So then they have so many people applying. So yeah, you are, if I'm going to go up against, like someone else in my category, like a Jenny White or a Deborah Rainey, they've got more name recognition than I would have. So they'd probably go with them. So yeah, you are in a way going against fellow authors.
And if you win, then they let you know ahead of time, like when it's going to be featured, or how does that work?
Oh, yep. They when you are selected, you'll get an email and say congratulations, and they'll say this is your date, and it's going to be a 99-cent deal or whatever you applied for. So yeah, they will assign that time for you. And then you can actually, I've had it where the time they assign didn't work. So I emailed them back and I said, this doesn't work. Can I move it to a week earlier or later? And they said, yep, sure.
Wow.
So, and I've heard other people do that too. Once you're selected, that gives you some leeway to say, oops, I can't do that. Or if you, let's see, like with Kindle Unlimited, if you said, oh, I can sell it on in all the countries, which you can't get the deal in all the countries, then I had to go back and say, oops, sorry, this is a Kindle Unlimited, so it's only going to be the US and the UK. So as long as you inform them of things like that, they've been very good about responding and working with you. So the hard part is getting selected.
It's good to know.
Yeah. Jeannie asked if they give preference to traditional publishers versus indie publishing.
Oh, definitely they would. Again, if I was going up against a Cynthia Ruchti, they would choose Cynthia Ruchti for sure. So yeah, someone, they know that's a known quantity. Then if you are with a traditional publisher, they'll know that they have the professional cover, and they know that you've got the professional editing. So it's going to be a quality product. Whereas a Brenda Anderson, it's like they have to go look at my backlist, they have to look at the ratings and all that and say, well, this they would work. So
yeah I'm so interested in the whole pricing thing. I think like this has been recent, like within the last 4 or 5 weeks, maybe. I got an email from Bookbub and it pretty much said like, you're never buying any books. You want to keep getting these emails or something like that. And I felt really threatened. And like, well, yeah, I want to keep getting them. So I went in and made sure my preferences were okay, because I set that up so long ago and they really weren't. So it's like, okay, I tweaked my preferences and now I've been on this little spending spree with Bookbub almost every day. We're getting one free. But it's interesting because if it's a book I really want, I mean, so if they're 99 cents, I'm more apt to, of course, if they're free, I'll get it if I want it. And 99 cents, if it gets to $2.99, it's like, well, man, I might just put that on my list instead, unless I really, really, really. So, even though it's still very inexpensive, there is that whole psychology of posting. And so I find it very encouraging that at free and at 99 cents, you're still making a ton of money. And I have a feeling people are more willing to take a chance on a book for 99 cents than $3, for 99. So.
Absolutely. I know I am. Even though $3 is less than they say a cup of coffee.
Right.
It's still easier to take a chance on 99 cents.
But like now I have a bunch of books in my Kindle.
Yep.
Not yet reading.
Exactly.
But I am buying.
And another thing they do too is after you look at a book, even if you just look at a book, a day or two later, they'll send you an email and say, hey, you looked at this book by Johnny Alexander. Did you purchase it?
Yeah.
And then if you say yes, it will be marked on your page as if you're owning that book. So again, there's just another trail that allows people to see what you're reading and who's, it just widens your scope for readers.
I really do. I like BookBub because it's so much less complicated than Goodreads. And I mean, I like Goodreads too, but with BookBub, too, from an author's standpoint, like when someone does a review or they just say they like my book, like they read it and liked it, I will get an email about that, and then I can go on and hit, saying, I just, thank you for your review, thank you for your kind words, whatever, or you can just hit this like button. So I didn't realize that at one time, and I was going through then and making sure I hadn't skipped any, or up on it. Just so it gives you a very easy way. Like Brenda said, that the reader has an easy way because they don't have to actually write a review. They can just click one of those boxes or multiple boxes. And then as an author, you can just go on and just do this very simple, takes you 2 minutes, thank you so much. So you've had that interaction with the reader too, which is just, so it's very clean and uncluttered. There's not a lot of other stuff going on, it's just that interaction is really fun.
Exactly. It's, I like it better than Goodreads as well too. So, as a social media site, not just an ad site or a marketing site for authors, social media wise, I really like it.
And it's not one we think of as a social media platform, and yet it should be because there are readers there. Now, are they fiction though? Is there nonfiction on BookBub too?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Of course there are, because I do get notifications of books that are nonfiction.
Yep. I'm just looking at the subscribers. There's many different nonfiction categories. Just in the Christian nonfiction, there's 590K plus subscribers just in that. So that's more than the fiction part. Let's see, what's the biggest category? Biographies and memoirs have 1.8 million followers. Crime fiction has 2.59. That looks like that. Yeah, crime fiction is the biggest, and thrillers 2.1 million. So, but then you're paying for it. I mean, you're paying a lot for a free ad, and thrillers at $644. So, but you're also reaching 2.1 million people. So
that's what it's based on, is the numbers. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, anybody else have questions? Why don't we ask everybody to come on too while we're doing this, and then if you have a question you want to ask Brenda, you can do that. If we put anybody in writer's chat jail, please let us know so we can let you guys out again. But yeah, please feel free to pop on. There's PM. Anybody else have any other questions? Jeannie's coming on. Jeannie, glad you made it.
Sorry, late.
Right.
Just was about to say that I missed the very beginning, but I just think this is a tool we ought to use. It just sounds like it sounds like a lot of us aren't using it, and it's definitely something that might help us, and especially find new readers.
Absolutely. And I think with my books, I don't fit the niche that you're going to find avid readers on Facebook. I don't fit in that niche, but through BookBub, I have found my leadership with that. So
it was great, and I thought it was encouraging. Even though you spent money, within X number of months, you did that. You earned your money back, which is very encouraging. For those
and not just earning my money back. It's doubling and quadrupling or 7 times.
Yeah.
Book, I made I think it's 700% of my investment.
Oh my gosh.
So
I was impressed with how long that tail was. That was amazing too.
And it depends upon the book too.
Sure.
But my last one, it had a really good long tail. So
cool. How many?
It's fascinating that you resubmitted the book 17 times to be featured, right? Not for a fee. And what made you decide to keep doing 17 times? I mean, I guess if there was twice I'd be rejected. I'd say, But I just say, what was the advantage? What made you keep doing?
I think because I had seen the success I'd had with other books, and I just knew they'd like this one, and they
Okay.
did.
All right.
And
So,
eventually,
and then ironically, I was accepted first with A Beautiful Mess after 17 rejections for a 99-cent deal. And then I submitted it, it wasn't quite a year later, for a free deal. And they made even more money on it on the free deal.
So twice you did
Yeah.
it.
So within a year.
Wow.
that's really good.
So I have a question. So if you're traditionally published, who, it's kind of double-edged. Who is responsible to submit the book to Bookbub, the publisher or the author? And then on the other side of that, if you're traditionally published and say the author did, how do you work with your publisher to do that sales deal for such an ad or such a feature?
That's a good question. I know publishers are different. I know that some publishers allow the author to submit, but I think, I don't know, Johnny, maybe you can answer that.
I would think the publishers I have would be responsible, because I can't change those prices. So I mean, I could not. I would have to ask them to do it, and
Right.
And then they'd have to be willing to pay for it, and they'd have to change the prices. And then just like any other time, the money would actually flow to them, and then that percentage would flow to me. So
Okay,
I
that
think
makes sense.
it probably works better for indie authors unless the traditional publisher is just doing it. But I think that the indie authors, it really is where it helps.
We can see the benefit
Right.
a lot quicker as an indie author than someone who's traditionally published.
And you're getting all that money, you're not, or what?
Yeah, all of it.
Well, yeah, Amazon keeps a bit, but you're getting most of the money. Brenda, how many books do you have out now, indie? How many books have you indie published?
15, I think. So my first couple books, I should say, they were signed on with a small publisher. Then, like so many other small publishers, it went it failed after a few months. So anyway, that was what propelled me into indie publishing, because I was signed on for a series, and it's like, okay, now I have to continue the series. So anyway.
And again, I apologize because I missed the first couple minutes. You pay for this, let's say a 99-cent deal, but if they reject you, is that money gone, or do you get that money back?
Oh, no, you're not paying anything until you are accepted.
Got it.
Yeah, that would be a big deal. I would never submit if I paid it in advance.
That's what I wondered. Okay, and you may have said
Good question.
Sorry. Okay,
Good question.
Thank you.
So yeah, no, it isn't until you get that acceptance letter, and then you have a few days to make the payment, and if you don't, then you lose your spot. So you want to make that payment as fast as you can. So.
And I think someone asked this again, but just to get it straight in my mind, you get this acceptance letter, it's within a couple of months, then you're the feature or the 99-cent.
Usually, if I submit, I'll hear back from them within 1 or 2 days. What I found is that it takes longer for them to reply. They're looking closer at it. So the ones that I hear in 4, 5, 6 days are the ones I'm more likely to be accepted for.
Nice.
So it's sort of a tell. It's like, oh, I haven't heard from them, so maybe.
Inside knowledge there. That would be encouraging enough, though. If it went on 4 or 5 days, you think, okay, I got to resubmit this, because like Pam said, it could be just plain timing. Right when it comes along,
and that's what it is. It's timing. Who are you up against for the slots that are available in that time period?
That is fascinating. Fascinating tool.
Pam?
I think anything is timing, right? Brian Davis, when he wanted to publish his Raising Dragons, like I don't know how many years ago, he got 200 rejections. But he believed in his book, and he who ended up AMG ended up publishing him, and they had already rejected him. And when he went back a couple years later, I don't know whether they just went, let's try some Christian fantasy here with dragons in or what, but they created a line for him just for his books. And he's still writing lots and getting published and is doing great. Timing,
Yep.
Oh,
exactly. What is popular now, next year could be totally not.
It's fascinating. I think this has been great conversation today.
Really has.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Sharing
you.
your experiences and being so open about them. I appreciate that a lot.
Well, thank
we
you.
have the recording still going. Next week, we're going to get reports from, was it Blue Ridge?
Blue Ridge, yes.
It's just going on right now.
And Norma is going to lead that. But if you went, be sure and get in touch with her so that she can know that you want to share a little bit about what you did or learned or successes or whatever, rejections.
Yeah. We haven't featured a writers conference for a while, and they're always so encouraging, and that's an excellent one. So it'll be fun to hear.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. Wrapping up, Johnny, I'll turn it to you to wrap up.
All right. Well, again, thank you all for being here. Brenda, thank you so much for everything that you shared with us. And like I said earlier, if you're watching the replay, we do invite you to join us any Tuesday morning so that you can be part of the live conversation and be part of the after party, which we do after we close. And sometimes there's some more hidden little nuggets that come out of that. You're also invited to join our Facebook community at Writers Chat Members and to check out all of our videos, all of our episodes on our Facebook Writers Chat page. They're all there. And on the Serious Writer YouTube channel, you can find all of our videos too. So thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.